This is Justin Nauman, and welcome to tonight's edition of Sustainability News. Tonight we have some special reports coming to you from Rochester, New York, talking about the water and wind systems they have and how or how not sustainable they are. Next, we'll head over to some local experts in Banksy, China, and talk about similar issues and how they plan to make the city more sustainable. First, we'll head over to David in New York.
Thank you, Justin. I'm here in Rochester, New York at the Genesee River near the Monroe County Water Treatment Facility. This is one of 8 facilities that treats 30% of the water used by residents. Overall, the city of Rochester averages 767 liters of water used per person per day. This currently isn't sustainable because 482 liters of this water is used consumptively. This means the water is not recovered through a facility like this one. The water that leaves this plant is deposited back into the Genesee River in Lake Ontario, where Rochester draws much of its water. According to these figures, Justin, the city of Rochester hopes to reduce consumption by 20% by limiting their reliance on thermoelectric power generation. Thermoelectric currently uses over 50% of the city's water usage. Along with less usage, the city can reclaim more of the lost water by improving its stormwater treatment infrastructure. Maureen will tell us in our next segment how Rochester plans to change its energy sustainability outlook.
Rochester's per capita energy use is currently 126.3 gigajoules per year per person, and the current greenhouse gas emissions amount to 8,988 kilograms per year per person. In 2050, we estimate the per capita energy use to be 75.8 gigajoules per year per person, and projected greenhouse gas emissions will amount to 5,603 kilograms per year per person. Rochester is viewed as an unsustainable city. Its energy demands in the future increase because of rising population, and the energy production will not be able to keep up with these demands. Rochester heavily depends on non-renewable energy, which is also a great issue. Wind energy from offshore wind farms brings about a positive tilt to the energy production industry. It has been estimated that offshore wind potential from Great Lakes area is 321,936 megawatts. That is about 10 times the energy from all sources put together. Even with this staggering amount of energy able to be produced, complaints of windmills ruining the natural beauty has been a common complaint. For this reason, engineers have developed the tree mill. They will be designed to produce the same amount of energy as a standard windmill. The tree mills will be placed offshore, but still visible from the shore of Lake Ontario. They will be designed to match the natural landscape of Rochester, so residents will not feel like the natural scenery is being disturbed. These designs are aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and as well a great way to produce clean energy.
Thank you for the information, Maureen. Now we're going to head over to Nancy, who's going to be talking about the energy sector, specifically the steel and coal industry in Banksy.
Thank you, Justin. In Banksy, China, the current energy consumption per capita is 12 gigajoules per year, which causes 1,000 kilograms of CO2 emissions to be released per year per person. This is due to the heavy reliance on fossil fuels. 92% of the energy produced uses fossil fuels. Also, in this city, the main industry is the coal and steel industry, which produces CO2 into the atmosphere. Our plan for sustainability is to promote clean energy production technology to these industries. We also plan to promote renewable energy to the government of China by saying that it will increase tourism with a better air quality for their country. The future projection of the energy consumption per capita for the city of Banksy is 10 gigajoules per year. This is caused by the technology, which will reduce the amount of energy that's needed to be consumed to produce steel and coal in the city. And back to you, Justin.
Thank you, Nancy. So now that we have heard from all of our reporters, let me give you a brief summary of what we have learned here today. In Rochester, New York, the main problem is not water, but energy. The proposed offshore wind farms have met with some resistance, so onshore ones that look like trees have been suggested, which are more aesthetically pleasing. When we head over to Banksy, China, the main problem there is that 92% of their energy comes from fossil fuels, which are non-renewable. Thus, it has been suggested to shift their energy production more towards solar and wind energy to capitalize on the large amount of land they have available. And that concludes this evening's edition of Sustainability News. Stay classy, America. get that's a wrap.